original.
Court is in session with Ryan in Sacktown on If You Don't Like That. Now, Ryan in Sacktown.
Oh, must be Rhino.
Great success.
We made it. It is Friday. What is up? It is a Kings Friday. It is a loaded Friday here on the Kings Court, and we are just kicking off a huge day of content right here, 2 p.m., the regular home of the Kings Court. So happy to have you here, Ryan in Sacktown with you. The Kings and the Clippers meet for the 231st time tonight. 231st time in LA at the brand new Intuit Dome. Somebody get the G-Man a printer. The G-Man needs a printer. He does not like going paperless, and I don't blame him. I like the paper too, G-Man. G-Man, I'm old school, buddy. I got paper too. So let's get G-Man a printer down in LA. What's up? Get in here right now. I want to hear from all of you. We've got a loaded show. We're going to talk Kings. We're going to talk Clippers. We're going to talk about a little bit of NFL. How about the NHL? Did you hear about that brutal injury to one of their guys? Awful. We're going to get to that as well. But a lot going on. Don't forget, we've got the WWE segment with Adam. We're going to be talking WWE wrestling. Yes, a little bit of WWE for those that partake. Also, it's the debut of Horsing Around with the NFL. That's right. My 10-year-old Liam has made his picks for week 12. We got those recorded last night. We will be listening to them in a little bit, and we will get Haunted Horses picks. And we are going to see who can pick better against the spread the rest of the season. That's going to be a lot of fun. We might just keep it to the Sunday games. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I think Horse is a little bit nervous right now, but I can promise you I am way more nervous than Haunted Horse. And here's why. We do this little show on his platform called The Waterhole. And, it's a different kind of show. It's a different kind of humor. It's a little bit more clone-centric for those that listen to Jim Rome. I listen to Jim Rome. I am at times part of the content on that show. Well, anyways, we had this bit. One of our friends has been all about this DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza. Let me repeat that one more time. DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza. So let's get over the first objection of frozen pizza. There's some good, decent frozen pizzas out there. For those that live in the Midwest, those that are in Wisco, those that are out that way, there's a brand called Lots of Matza. And if you live in Elk Grove or you live near an Amazon market, you can find Lots of Matza pizzas here in California. Incredible. Best frozen pizza I've ever had. Red Baron? What about Red Baron? You get Red Baron, you know what you're getting. You're not going to get anything great. You're not going to get anything bad. So there's certain brands of frozen that I'm fine with. I can rock with the frozen pizza. Now, what I can't rock with is a frozen Thanksgiving pizza. Yes, I just said a frozen Thanksgiving pizza. So on the show with Haunted Horse, this discussion started because apparently this pizza is elusive. It's hard to find. You can't find it anywhere. So I said, you know what? I'll do it. You find a frozen Thanksgiving pizza from DiGiorno. I guess I'll try it. Because I didn't think this dude would find it. Haunted Horse located a frozen DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza. meaning I come to air with my stomach doing somersaults, thinking about a pizza with turkey, cranberries, gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, and who knows what else. Can you imagine that thing? That is going to be brutal. Anyways, let's get off the topic of the frozen pizza. I can't even think about that pizza right now. Can't do it. How's everybody doing? Let's get to the chat. Want to hear from you. Fridays are our open forum, kind of Royal Rumble Fridays. We get to all of you. You can come on at any given time. Multiple people can come on the show at the same time. So we've got a ton of audio from Mike Brown. We're going to break that down here in a little bit. Like I said, Kings clips tonight. 231st meeting between those two teams. And if you are waking up this morning, looking at the Western Conference standings and wondering, holy crap, are the Kings screwed? They're not even in the play-in right now. Get used to it. That is this Western Conference. This Western Conference is wild this year. This game's important. You look at the standings right now, the Clippers, 8th in the Western Conference. Minnesota, a team that some people had winning the Western Conference. They're in the 10 seed right now. 8-7, same record as your Kings. It's just they hold the tiebreaker over the Kings. So early in the season, you got to get it done. You've got to get it done. The Kings schedule right now is not as hard as it's going to be, but you are through the easiest part of the schedule, no doubt about that. Check in. I want to know where you're watching the show from today. Yes, I am coming in hot, my man. I just could not think that I was actually going to have to eat that pizza. Now, what happens, Haunted Horse, if I can't find that pizza? You know, like maybe it's sold out. Maybe they don't carry it in California. Does that mean I have to make my own Thanksgiving pizza? I would be way for making my own Thanksgiving pizza before stomaching a DiGiorno frozen Thanksgiving pizza. And by the way, what a stupid idea by DiGiorno. So one of my friends who lives in Wisco, this guy has been like talking to people in numerous states. He said people running by stores. I know Mark in the chat was checking his store for this damn pizza in Arizona. And DiGiorno apparently did not roll this thing out until like the last couple days, because I can promise you, come Black Friday, that pizza is going to be the last thing anybody is going to want to buy. You are not going to want a Thanksgiving pizza when you have a week of leftovers in your fridge. It's not going to happen. So why did they roll it out so late? That thing should have been on the shelves for the last 2 weeks. You're on the tail end. In fact, you might already be over the Thanksgiving hump because so many people do Friendsgivings. My son today, last day of school, he is out of school until 2025. They had a Friendsgiving. I have a couple other groups of friends doing Friendsgiving. So some people, you roll around to Thanksgiving Day, you've already had a couple of Thanksgiving dinners. I'm telling you, DiGiorno, bad call. Bad call. Bane, what's up, dude? Let's effing go. Yes, indeed. It is a Friday on the King's Court. Happy to be here with all of you. Royal Rumble Friday. Indeed. Usually shows are 90 minutes. We might go a little bit longer. If you want to stick around a little bit longer, we can do that. We've got the full gamut for you today on the channel. We've got the pregame show, 6:15. 6:15 tonight with myself getting you ready. Actually, no, 6:30, excuse me, 6:30. This is a 7:30 game. So 6:30, 6:45-ish. I'll decide on the time here in a little bit. And then we've got halftime with Jerry Reynolds. He joins us at the intermission. That is always a ton of fun having Jerry here on the channel. And then don't forget, after the game, we have the post-game show where we take your calls. I anticipate the post-game show tonight's going to be cracking. It's going to be a bigger post-game show. Whenever the Kings play in LA, especially De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, you're going to be without Malik Monk tonight, though. That is one thing that the Kings will not have. However, the Clippers don't have Norman Powell, so that is an advantage. In fact, I would trade Monk for Powell. The way these two teams match up, I would say that is a fair trade out. You do get DeMar DeRozan. You do get Domas back tonight. Neither are listed on the injury report. As we sit right now at 2:11 Pacific, the Kings are 3.5-point favorites to win this one tonight. How do you feel about that? Remember, the Kings got smashed. The Kings got smashed the 5th preseason game at the Intuit Dome. 2 o'clock rules. Yes, it does. Yeah, this dude is super happy that he found this Thanksgiving pizza. And the worst part is, Horse, we're going to do that after Thanksgiving, probably. That's not going to be before Thanksgiving. I don't think I'm going to be able to find one, but we'll see. What's up, Dennis? You know what? Dennis, my man, I got an idea for you. How about you come over to my studio and you eat the Thanksgiving pizza and you can be on the show with Haunted Horse? How about you guest host for me that episode? I will even pay you, Dennis, if you would like to do that. Don't see Royale. We are safe. Yeah, I think I got rid of him. He might be down towards the bottom of the screen. So we're good. Haunted Horse guess is I eat 3 bites. So the rest, dude, I don't even want any of it. Adam, garlic chips from Pizzeria Classico in Folsom is unmatched. Never heard of that place. Never heard of it. Portland, Oregon, of course, Haunted Horse. We've got San Antonio, Texas.
Acknowledge me.
Dab, what's up? Goodyear, Arizona. What's it like in Arizona right now? You probably got nice weather right now, Dab. We are getting a ton of rain in Sacramento. I'm hoping the winds stay down. They were supposed to go kind of high today. It was supposed to get a little bit messy. That's when we start losing internet. The full gammon, nice. Not gammon, gamut. Full gamut. Let's see. BJ, yo, Beamers, what's up? Indeed. Yeah, we're looking for a beam tonight. This team's had 3 days of rest, 3 days of much needed rest. Coach Brown talked about that yesterday after practice. Malik Monk, let's clear this up really quick. He was a full participant in practice yesterday, but they didn't have any contact in practice. So that was the difference. So that's why you're probably going to see Malik. My guess is we will see him back next game. You get him a little bit more time. Kevin's saying it's 75 here. Dude, Dennis, I'm not kidding, bro. You come do the show. I will call in sick that day. I'll get you all set up in the studio. We'll cook you know what? No, you have to cook the pizza. I will get the pizza to you. You cook that in your house because I don't want that smell lingering in here. And we're good, dude. We'll work it out together. I'll take care of you. We'll get some Bennett's. Haunted Horse won't mind. Yeah. The buzz around the show is getting huge. That show, the pizza show. Oh, boy. Yeah. No, well, tell him Dennis is going to be there for me. No Rhino. Dennis is subbing in. In fact,
Few thoughts there, Horse.
I'm not going to be eating that pizza. Hey, Horse.
Few thoughts there, Horse.
Dennis is going to eat that pizza for me.
Few thoughts there, Horse.
Why was it an idea to eat something so disgusting on camera?
Few thoughts there, Horse.
Won't you get enough Thanksgiving dinner before you eat this thing? Come on, man. Come on. Kevin saying it's 75. Love it. All right. Let's get to the top story. You know this. It is the Kings. It is the Clips coming up tonight from LA, from the Intuit Dome. It is an NBA Cup game. Here is your NBA Cup group play schedule. The Kings 0-1 so far in the group phase round. I'm not paying attention to it because I don't care about it. Quite frankly, it's just another regular season game for me. That is all it is. Domas, he loves playing in it because growing up, he played in things like this, European style. Totally respect that. The guys on the end of the bench, you get a little extra money if you win this thing. But other than that, what did it do for the Lakers last year? Nothing. They got a banner raised that shouldn't have been raised. Lakers, did that banner make you do any better in the playoffs? The judges say no. So, anyways, the Kings really need to get back on track. You know, I'm not too disappointed with 8-7, 4-3 on the road. The Kings are not playing terrible there. I'd like them to play better at home. But coming back off of this rest is so imperative for this team. They needed it. They needed to get fresh legs. They played 11 games in 18 days. 11 games in 18 days. That's a lot. So you get 3 days off in the middle of the season. That is a ton of time. And credit to some of the guys. I know Domas got out, gave back to the community on his day off. De'Aaron Fox did the same as well. Multiple Kings getting involved in the community. Great look. DeMar talked about his back a little bit yesterday, saying the tightness was just something. What I got from it was a little bit more precautionary. You know, he has a goal of playing all 82, and you see that reflected in his season games play, or in his career games played per season. The guy plays a lot of games, but the bottom line is you have both of them back tonight. And there's been a lot of questions for Mike Brown, especially around the rotation, around adjustments, around minutes with the starters, things the Kings can do better, things that the Kings need to probably do more of. Like I talked about the corners yesterday. Here's Coach Brown. We've got a bunch of sound from practice. Here's your first sound clip, Coach Brown.
It was great. Gave the guys that are hurt a couple more days to get their bodies right. Gave us an opportunity to go over some things out on the floor that we hadn't had a chance to go over. So it was fantastic. Couple of days for us. Gave us an off day too.
Exactly.
Is that too quiet? Can you guys hear that okay? That was really quiet on my end. Producer, turn that up. Let's see if this one's better. Coach Brown again.
We haven't, this is the, knock on wood, hopefully we won't have to, but we really haven't had to implement anything new probably in the past week. But the tough part about it is we've had some guys out and some new guys playing, and then we haven't really been practicing, and so it just gave us an opportunity to continue to try to sharpen up what we're trying to do on both sides of the ball.
They haven't implemented anything new. Where do you come out on that, y'all? Is there anything that you feel needed to be tweaked from what we've seen from this team so far through 15 games? And remember, we judge this team in 15-game increments. There's the Western Conference right there. You can see what everybody is doing. The Kings below that play in line, although they have the same record as the Minnesota Timberwolves. And have you checked out the Eastern Conference? The Eastern Conference is trash besides the teams at the top. The Kings are going to have to take care of their games against the East. Coach Brown again.
You want to try to be able to give you guys rest. You want to try to be able to touch up on the things that you already have in on both sides of the ball to see if we can get a little better. We factor our season into 5-game segments, and like against Atlanta, it was probably our worst defensive transition game since I've been here, and it wasn't lack of effort. It literally we just didn't follow our rules. And I think prior to the Atlanta game, we might have been a top 5 defensive transition team, but during that game, in my mind, we had to have been 30th. And then even with our pick and roll coverage, we did not execute the coverage that we were supposed to be in well. And again, a lot of it has to do with us not practicing and not doing any drill work at all, and just kind of telling the guys and expecting them to go out there and do it, which, they tried, but sometimes you need that muscle memory. And so to have days like this to get some of that muscle memory back is much needed.
Coach,
Yeah, muscle memory, a very regular term in NBA circles, probably a regular term in many other circles as well. All right, here's the Kings' schedule thus far this season. Like I said, we break it up also on this channel into 5-game increments. So your last 5-game increment goes like this: a loss to Atlanta, a win against Utah, a loss against Minnesota, a W against Phoenix, and a loss to San Antonio. That is the stretch where De'Aaron Fox played out of his mind. 109 in 2 games. Also in that stretch, the huge win in Phoenix, where DeMar and De'Aaron took over in overtime. The game where Malik Monk rolled his ankle. So you have to factor in the rotation. You have to factor in Coach Brown playing combinations that he normally doesn't play. So my question for all of you at Phoenix, at San Antonio, remember that San Antonio game back to back versus Phoenix, versus Minnesota, versus Utah, versus Atlanta. What is, oh, actually, I went one too many. We take that Phoenix game on the road out. So it's at San Antonio versus Phoenix, versus Minnesota, versus Utah, versus Atlanta. What is your grade for that 5-game increment? What would you give the Kings during that time? Considering the circumstances, what was the schedule like? You had one back-to-back in there. You might have had 2 back-to-backs now that I'm thinking about it. But, you had 2. That's right. The Utah game was a big win. That was a big win because you were coming off of De'Aaron's massive 60-point game. What's your grade? Give me your grade for the last 5 games. Now, as for the depth on this team, let's hit that really quick. Mason Jones tweaked his hamstring. So he is not going to be on the bench for the Kings or available. He's more of a Stockton guy. We did see some minutes for Mason during the time that Malik Monk was out. But what do you do if you're the Kings? I talked about this at length last week, the pick and roll defense and the communication. Pick and roll defense is as much about position as it is communication. So tonight, when you match up against the Clippers are an ISO team. The Clippers are also a much more athletic team than you are. Remember the first time that they came into the Golden One Center, defense was not particularly great. And then the defense tightened up, and the Clippers just made some great shots. In fact, there was some really hard shot making there. The other problem with the Clippers, you think DeMar DeRozan is good at drawing fouls? Unfortunately, that is one thing James Harden does very well. James Harden is starting to learn a little bit more how to play with these younger guys for the Clippers, especially Derrick Jones Jr. He brings a different level of athleticism for them. You look at what they did last game in a win against a good Magic team. The Magic play really damn good defense. They are right up, I believe, the second defense in the NBA per defensive rating. Derrick Jones Jr. only gives you 8 points, but then Zubac, he gives you 17. He's given Sabonis problems in the past. 24 for Harden. Amir Coffey, who stepped into the starting lineup for Norman Powell, 18, and then you only get 7 from Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn is the dude that came into Sac and started shooting the lights out. So we've talked about the Kings and defending the three-pointer. Really, if you look at the Clippers and what they do best and what they do well, it's shooting the three. That's all it is. Let's go to the Clippers numbers really quick, and you can see those. I believe they are 6th in the NBA at shooting the 3-ball. We know where the Kings stand in terms of defending the 3-ball, which is not very good. Let's throw this up really quick. There you go. There you go. They're 5th in the NBA at 3-point percentage. So this game is going to live in 2 places. Or 3 places. Can you defend the pick and roll? Meaning, can you not go for the pump fakes? Can you guard without fouling? Can you communicate? Second, can you defend the 3-point line? It's not a game where you want to be doubling people, and that was why when Coach Brown said there was not a lot of adjustments, they didn't have to do anything different or install anything different, I was a little bit surprised. And he goes on, and we'll listen to it in a second, talking about how he's okay with giving up certain open threes. I get that to a degree, but it seems to happen way too often. And the Kings' numbers bear it out. Look at what the Kings are doing defensively against their opponents. It is not good. Look down at that bottom column. That is what opponents are doing to, oh, you know what? Wrong one. Look down at that bottom column. You see that 28, that 29, and that 27? The Clippers are going to be looking for threes all night tonight. So what can the Kings do to stop that? The second thing, offensive rebounds. Can the Kings keep the Clippers away from the boards? Can the Kings limit them to one opportunity? You absolutely have to. Third thing, transition. The Clippers are not a very good team at getting steals. They don't force turnovers. So if the Kings are turning the ball over tonight, especially unforced turnovers, watch the hell out, because the Clippers will get out in transition and make you pay for it. This should be a game where the Kings should be able to turn them over some, should be able to frustrate them some. In fact, I would play the Clippers many of the same principles that I would play against Golden State, which we see the Kings play against Golden State. That's what I would do tonight, pushing them off of the 3-point line. That is really where this game is going to be, in free throws. So give me your thoughts. What do you think the Kings need to do to get this one today? I also want your grades. What grade do you give the Kings for the last 5 games? I'll give you mine in a second. Here is Coach Brown again from practice yesterday.
Yeah, but again, I got to take a hit on a lot of this stuff too, because I'm searching, and so sometimes when you search, you don't have as much rhythm with your minutes, and maybe you go in now this game and you come out at that time during this game, but then the next game or even the next half, you go in sooner or later. And so to try to get those guys a sense of rhythm and playing with the right group and run the right stuff for them, that's on me. And they got to keep trying to do their job when they're open and let it fly with confidence. And I think we're heading in the right direction where that is. I feel pretty comfortable with the direction of my rotation now. I feel pretty comfortable with the actions that we have in. I feel pretty comfortable with what we're trying to do defensively. And so now let's see what happens.
Do you feel comfortable with where things stand? I'm just curious. Do you? I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but I wouldn't say I'm worried either. There's a lot of truth to what he said, but that's going to be another thing to watch tonight, is now that you basically have a full deck of cards, minus Malik Monk, what is that rotation going to look like? Coach Brown goes on here in a few minutes to talk about the target minutes that he wants to see Domas play, that he wants to see DeMar play. And how do you get that without also hurting the team? I think it's absolutely going to come down to combinations. And there's a few things that you can still do without Malik Monk, and you can actually still put pressure on the other team's defense. You have guys that can give similar looks. Now, I'm not saying Jordan McLaughlin is going to be Malik Monk, but with Keon and De'Aaron on the floor at the same time, that is something that I'm going to be looking for tonight. Tonight is a game to me where you want a lot of Keon and you want a lot of De'Aaron on the perimeter playing aggressively. Not to say that Kevin has not been playing good minutes. I think he has defensively, but because of the personnel that LA has, can Mike Brown find some consistency? Now, the looks that they're getting, I talked about this yesterday, and I think this is a shocking stat because it was one of the points of emphasis for this team in training camp. So many times in training camp, we heard from Coach Brown, we are counting how often guys get to the corners. The reason you want to get to the corners is that is the strong suit for many of your players. Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, just to name a few. You look at what the Kings are doing from the corners, shooting the corner 3 ball, the left corner. They are 29 of 73 this season from the left corner. That's a really good percentage. You want a better percentage? How about this? The right corner, 28 of 58. 28 of 58, almost 50% shooting percentage from the left corner. All other threes in the half court, they're 122 out of 391, which all adds up. You throw 6 more threes in that were heaves from beyond half court, it adds up to 34% on the season. You want to get that offense clicking? It's transition. The transition defense needs to improve, but as Mike Brown gets his guys back, has that full deck of cards, you have a group that is used to playing with each other for the most part. Trade Keegan, he's soft. What are you talking about? Mateo, you do watch the basketball game when it goes to the other side of the floor and the Kings don't have the basketball? Or do you turn the game off when they do that? Keegan is not soft. Now, if you want to say he's not being aggressive enough, I can get with that. But the Kings, by the way, Mateo, Keegan's net rating, his net rating, personal net rating right now is the highest of his career. And he's having the worst year offensively that he has had. Think about that for a second. Now, I think it's incumbent on Coach Brown to draw up more plays, to call more structure for guys like Keegan, guys like Kevin. We talked about that a ton yesterday. I'm not going to get into it. If Coach Brown does that, I think that changes. It is incredibly difficult. Sometimes you feel like you are on an island playing a different game when you are working your ass off defensively, but then on the offensive end, it's almost like a break for you. Like that side of the court is almost like your breather. And in some ways, there's been so much asked of Keegan on the defensive end. That's what it's come off as. So you have to push Keegan in that sense. You are right. Be more aggressive. But you're on an island when you're not touching the basketball. In many possessions, Keegan's not touching the basketball. He is fourth on that offense. He is the fourth, actually maybe the fifth priority when it comes to the starters, because almost right out of the gate, you see a play drawn up for Kevin Huerter. 2 pin down screens, Kevin coming off the top on a DHO. You got to do the same for Keegan Murray. Coach Brown continues yesterday from practice.
No, for sure. Ideally 35 minutes a game for those guys will be great. With at the high end 36, and I think we've found a way, or I found a way to get them there. So not just for those guys, but even for Fox and anybody else, max you want to play a guys 35 minutes, and so hopefully over time we'll be able to get them down there in terms of their average. But going forward, that's where they should be. No matter what, hopefully a little bit even below that. And with Keegan.
And here's your Keegan sound, Mateo.
Showing film where he could take advantage of the defense in this situation or that situation. Continue telling him to shoot the basketball. And, he's like any other player, any other young player especially. They go through their highs, they go through their lows, and he experienced that a little bit in year 2. In year 1, didn't see it much because everybody was having a career year in year 1, but he experienced a little bit in year 2. And
I think we're talking too much about year 1. Year 1, which is 22-23 when the Kings made the playoffs, is starting to become a pseudo Game 7 from 2002. I think we got to let year 1 go a little bit more. Can we acknowledge that year 1 might have been the outlier? That's not actually the Sacramento Kings team? Because if you look at the sample size up until now with this Kings team, since year 1, it's been a completely different team. In fact, you could argue that from the All-Star break last year forward, this has been a defensive team. They're right in the middle of the league when it comes to defensive rating. See where they're at. See if it changed with the other games. Right now, their defensive rating, they're 14th still in the NBA. So I think the thoughts of this team coming out and playing offense the way we saw in year one, we got to drop those. We got to let those go. It's not going to happen. It was a different year. I know there's a ton of injuries right now. That year had even more. And on top of that, this Kings team was never supposed to be that type of team. That was never the formula. You remember Mike Brown's entry press conference? Defense, defense, defense. Everybody was shocked when that team came out in Summer League and started nailing three-pointers and then won Summer League. And then it carries over to the season. You're the top-rated offense in the league. Now, could the Kings get back to a place that is similar to that? They can. And the guy that holds the keys to that is De'Aaron Fox. We'll talk about it a little bit more here in a few minutes. Do not give up the open threes. Completely agree. Derek, man, why are you stirring the pot, Derek? Derek. Damn. Why do you want Royale up in here, man? Some of you have a fascination with this Royale character now. You know he's out of town. You know he got shipped to Cincinnati. Thank gosh. Or was it Kansas City? Which one did he get shipped to? All I know is he's not here. Darren had the best line. What the F is that? Oh my gosh. Credit to the Kings, by the way. Credit to the Kings. Hey, Kings, if you could do the right thing with Royale, why can't you do the right thing with Mark Jones? You did the right thing with Royale. Why don't you ship Mark Jones out of here with him after his terrible week that he's had this week? Anyways, we are going to get ready to talk WWE here in a few minutes. Let's answer a few more of these questions. Mateo, doubling down on Keegan. He doesn't pass the eyeball test to you. Interesting. He hasn't been playing well, and he gets his looks. I just don't see it with him. Well, Mateo, let me ask you this. I think it's a fair comment. Oh, I got to get this guy off the screen. I'm sorry. You know what? I'll take the Thanksgiving pizza every day of the week over looking at that thing. Okay, Mateo, I think you make a fair point, but my counter to that is, what is your expectations for Keegan Murray? What did you expect Keegan Murray to be? What do you expect Keegan Murray to turn into? If you're expecting him to be Jason Tatum, then yes, he doesn't pass the eyeball test. If you're expecting him to be a 15-year NBA player that's solid on both ends on the court and makes a team better, then I don't know if I agree with that. So what's your expectations? Keegan's a beast. Don't disagree. Cam Thomas is said to be available. Should the Kings take a swing? I say yes. They have been very much tied to Cam Thomas. That name's come up more than a few times. You got Jordy in Brooklyn. Maybe Jordy's willing to give you a hometown discount. I don't know. I'll think about that, Derek. Why so much loyalty for Herter? Maybe Keegan can play better offensively if they call more plays for him. Kevin is way too inconsistent. Now, that's interesting. That is an interesting point. Jerry Reynolds, and I would argue Kevin is playing some of the best basketball of his career in Sacramento right now, all around basketball. But if you ask Jerry Reynolds, Jerry thinks Keon should be in the starting lineup. And I actually agree with him. At the start of the season, I did a podcast that was Ellis, Monk, or Herter. It's the third most downloaded podcast on the King's Court audio platform. And for many of the things that you just said there, Mateo, that is why I think Keon should be in the starting lineup offensively, because there's no pressure to get Keon involved in the offense. That's not why he's on the court. Now, if he's open and he has a wide open three, you need your two guard to be able to knock that down. But if you look at how many shots you have already in that starting lineup, the piece of the pie is not very big for your two guard, whoever it is. So yes, they do try to get Kevin involved right off the top. And I said it 20 minutes ago, they need to do the same for Keegan. That's why I was surprised that Coach Brown said that they're not really putting anything else in as of right now. So, and especially considering too, you're 8-7. You're not 10-5. You're not 12-3. You're 8-7. So while some things are working, some things certainly are not. But you move Keon into that starting lineup. You put Kevin into the second unit. I think you get more out of Keegan. And then also defensively, you get way more out of De'Aaron Fox because Keon opens up De'Aaron to do different things. You remember De'Aaron got 2 quick fouls? I believe it was De'Aaron. It was either De'Aaron or Keegan. One of the two got 2 really quick fouls against the Clippers last game here in Sacramento. James Harden drawed him really quick, going for the pump fakes. When you put Keon on the floor in that starting lineup, you can put Keon on the lead guard. When you don't have Keon on the floor, that's De'Aaron Fox's role. So I don't disagree. I think there's a lot to be said there. Maybe Roy Al is Mark Jones. No. Look, hey, did you guys hear Grant's rant today? Good for Grant. Good for Grant. I was happy to see that he did a rant about the same that we talked about yesterday with Mark Jones, because Mark Jones is a freaking hypocrite. Terrible look for the franchise. Peter laughing at Adam. Don't laugh at that guy. You know what is actually very reliable and not a hypocrite in some place that I love very much? It is Bennett's West Side Grill in Rockland. Do me a favor, go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can learn more about all 3 of their locations here in the greater Sacramento area. Bennett's has a little bit of everything for you. Prime cuts of seafood, steak, also incredible salads. Incredible. Love the steak Cobb salad. Great fresh made soups by the day. Awesome sandwiches and incredible. I keep saying incredible because it's the best word to use with Bennett's. Their specials. You looking for a deal? Like I said, go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Check out their great happy hour, 2 to 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Call it their Sips and Taste. They have shareable plates, also 60 different wines by the glass. And guess what? Bennett's is going to be open on Thanksgiving. So if you're looking to dine out, go to the website, Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can make a reservation now. Also, they're offering family meals to go for Thanksgiving. Get your pre-orders in now. They go quick. Trust me. They go really quick. They are incredible. Let Bennett's do the work for you. You enjoy the spoils. Kick your feet up. Watch some football. And enjoy the holiday. Don't forget about weekend brunch coming up this weekend. I know it'll be a little rainy. You can sit inside, 2 entrees, bottle of champagne, under $50. What I'm saying, get to Bennett'sRestaurants.com to check out those specials and many more. Trust me, I have not named all of them. A huge thanks to Bennett's for sponsoring today's episode of the King's Court. Do us a favor. If you go in, or when you go in, and check them out, let them know that you heard about them here on the channel if you don't like that. Big thanks to Margot, Brian, and the entire team over at Bennett's. We love them, and I know many of you love them as well. All right, we're going to switch it up. We are going to talk some WWE, and don't forget, we also have Horsing Around with the NFL, where we are going to get Liam's picks. Now, if you were not here last week, my son, who is 10 years old, he went 7-6 against the spread. He does not know any other teams besides the Seahawks. None. He does not watch football. So we are going to pit Liam and Haunted Horse together, and we are going to see who has a better record. And I bet you this, both of them will have a better record than Colin Cowherd. But first, let's do this WWE thing. Adam, our WWE correspondent. What up, dude?
My man, what's happening, dude?
And look at that. I love that energy.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Fired up. We got a Kings game tonight. We've got a Survivor Series War Games coming up. Got the move to Netflix.
Dude, I'm thinking we need to get Liam involved with like Survivor Series picks also.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I'm just saying.
I've tried to put wrestling in front of him, and he has no interest. None. I even put the UFC in front of him. No interest.
Anytime I get home and switch channels on the TV or something, my son goes, "Dad, I don't want to watch Roman Reigns." That's funny. I feel you there. My daughter's great. She loves it, but my son, not so much right now.
All good. Well, WWE taped a couple of shows. I think SmackDown tonight's pre-taped, right?
Yeah, I think it is as well. Yeah. We talked about this a little bit last week. I hate it. I mean, I get it, right? Like they got to take a break sometimes, but I don't know. I hate it. I feel like they got enough people on the roster to rotate things around and still be able to keep it fresh.
Didn't they kind of do that though? Like with last week's show or this week's show?
Yeah, I mean, we can start there with the women's end of the War Games, and I loved how they sort of pieced this together. So we've got on one side Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Raquel, Tiffy, and Candice LeRae versus Rhea, Jade, Bianca, Io Sky, and Naomi. And I'm calling it right now. This is going to be the best match of the night at Survivor Series. Anytime you get like these big groups from the women's side together, they always seem to put on the best show. So that's where my money's at for Survivor Series. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, last year's Survivor Series was pretty good. It saw the return of Orton and CM Punk.
Gosh, that was a year ago. Holy cow.
You know what's so weird though with these War Games events? It's when they have like the singles matches and you've got two rings right there.
Yeah. I know. You know that's funny? I was thinking about that the other night. I'm like, I wish there were some way that they could just, pull that thing back up into the sky or something, but that's, impossible.
Yeah. And so for the guys' side, we still don't have it set, right?
No, I think we're going to find out tonight. We've got the new bloodline, which they brought in Bronson Reed. He's going to be the fifth member for the new bloodline, but we're still waiting on that fifth for the OG bloodline. I kind of go back and forth with this new bloodline, OG bloodline stuff. Like sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. But I do love Bronson Reed being a part of that. He sort of fits the aesthetic to me with that crowd. And I think Solo and company have been stepping it up, especially on the microphone. So I'm digging what they're doing there. I hope that somewhere underneath all of this, Paul Heyman and The Rock are the ones who are sort of feeding that new bloodline. And I think like at the end of it, like, let's just destroy the OG bloodline. Let's make Solo the tribal chief and let those guys go on a solo run because I think they all deserve it. The only one in question there that wouldn't benefit from that is probably Jimmy, but who knows? I'm sure they could figure something out.
Jimmy's already the odd man out.
Yeah.
He's like the groupie that just follows them around. He's got like the cheesy smile on his face. At least me personally, I can't take him serious.
Yeah.
Like if you put him in a feud, I have no interest.
Yeah. And, who knows? Maybe we felt that way about Jay a couple of years ago, too. But yeah, I think he would be the one who would maybe lose out a little bit if they did do that. But who knows? Maybe you can throw him into something new. Maybe he becomes part of the Judgment Day. I don't know.
So you kind of perked my ears with this idea about Heyman and The Rock. You would probably. So are you saying you would like to see those two behind one of the bloodlines, or pitting 1-1 with each bloodline?
I think throw both of them at the new bloodline. I think the new the new bloodline would benefit the most by having both of them, right? Like The Rock is temporary. And so maybe he comes and interferes with the match, right? But a Paul Heyman on the new bloodline, I think, would be a more permanent thing, and that would really help. Old Chatterbox, Tomatonga, on the mic.
I was gonna say Jacob Fatu. It
Yeah.
would be the perfect transition because all this dude's saying is, "I love Solo Sikoa. I love
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa." You know,
I think he's had a little bit of a mic work recently too, and that's cool to see. So let it throw him in there with a Paul Heyman. Like he's a good safety net for those kind of guys.
all right, fair enough. Mark. So we know who the fifth is for the bloodline. It is Bronson Reed. It's not going to be Brock Lesnar. Or you think for
I think
the
he's saying
original
OG
for the
bloodline.
OG
And
bloodline?
There are rumors that Brock might be returning at War Games.
I was just going to ask you, what's the latest on Brock?
Yeah, I don't really know too much. I haven't read too much about it, but I have been seeing a lot of stuff that's saying it's likely that he's going to return at Survivor Series for War Games. So who knows?
Interesting.
I don't know. Does he fit with the OG bloodline? Like him and Roman went at it for 2 WrestleManias straight for the title. And I understand that was also Cody's scenario, but I don't know. That one doesn't. It's weird to me.
It seems like Seth is going to end up
Yeah.
as the fifth. Now with Bronson Reed there and the bloodline interfering on Raw.
I think something might happen next Monday that it just makes it inevitable that Seth Rollins has to be that 5th member for them, despite how much he hates the tyrant Roman Reigns.
Well, yeah, because as SmackDown ended, somebody was yelling at Roman. They were like, make the call. Make the call. And you're assuming that call is probably to Seth, but they're probably setting up like your imagination to think the bigger call. Is it The Rock? Is it somebody we don't know?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see The Rock being a part of this match at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I don't think it's Cody, even though Cody does not have a match so far scheduled for Survivor Series. I don't even know what the other matches are outside of the 2 big ones that we got. I don't think anything else has been announced yet. Maybe we got the women's US champ.
Yeah, I don't know. They really have not announced anything. It's a great point. That's something I was going to bring up to you. But I see something happening with Rock at Survivor Series. I think because it's a big 4, I don't think he's going to be involved in a match, but I could see kind of the forwarding of the him and Cody storyline, which they have continued to kind of tease at now that Cody doesn't have a match.
Yeah. And so where does Cody fit into this? Is he going to show up during your match? Like I said, I don't think he's going to be that 5th guy. It just doesn't it doesn't add up to me. Why would I know he's paired with him, but it doesn't make sense to throw Cody into this match in my opinion.
Here's the thing, and I know you said let the new bloodline run. Mojo 916 Doink the Clown, is he gonna be there? I don't know. I think Doink, the original Doink, might be dead.
I was a Doink fan. I also love Dink.
Dink, yes.
Yeah. Could we have Roman save Seth against Reed and Seth becomes the 5th OG bloodline? That's a great call out, Mark. I like that. I think that could be a possibility for sure.
Yeah, they're at that point where before we know it, they're going to be off and running to the races. And I guess the question I was going to ask about the bloodline was, I'll never forget at WrestleMania, it was the last LA WrestleMania at SoFi, when Roman was doing his press conference and he's like, this bloodline thing, it's just getting started. We've got so much more to go, right? And now we are almost a year and a half out from that, and to think the new bloodline is going to keep going and like become a faction even more, and then inevitably have like that implode moment. Like I just don't see, like, do you just blow up the bloodlines altogether at some
N-
point soon?
No, I think it could be one of those like evolving things, sort of like the Four Horsemen, right? Where people sort of come and go, it gets re-evolved and stuff like that. Um, but I think like with the OG members, I think you could blow it up, and then 2 years down the line, you could bring it back, like Roman and the Usos and Sammy, like somehow reunite again in the future to take down the new bloodline. You could pull that story back a couple years down the road once we're not kind of focused on it.
So, and you just said the name that I was going to get to next. If I say Sami Zayn turns on the OG bloodline at War Games, you say
No,
you don't think so.
I don't think so. I think those guys, no, I don't. I know that Sammy had his little convo with the new bloodline in his car or whatever, but no, I don't see it. I could get totally swerved there, but yeah, why would Sammy want to hang out with Solo?
Because your bloodline, your OG bloodline, this is like to me, a one event thing. You're not going to keep them together past this event, in my opinion. You might
Yeah.
have Jimmy and Roman still hanging out together because Jimmy has nothing else to do. Jay's going to go off, do his own thing. You need to get some type of momentum with
Mhm.
Sami Zayn. You need to keep freshening up that new bloodline, and I feel like that's the way to kind of do it. And then you keep Sami Zayn away from Kevin Owens as well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
All
I
right.
don't think so, but maybe you know something I don't.
I don't, though. That's the
Okay,
thing. I
all right.
don't.
I
I
never
just-
know with you because
Well,
you'll
yeah.
pose these questions, and I know you might know somebody.
No, no. I anything that I talk to Russ about, I'll usually let you know.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
but yeah. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see where it heads. And as we get closer, I mean, you've got one event in between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, and then we're off to the races for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's insane. So, how? What do you think today the main event should be for WrestleMania?
For WrestleMania, maybe it is some sort of Rock Cody thing. I just wonder because I really think that they are going to give John Cena his 17th belt, right? I think they're going to do that. And is it Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania, or is that more of a SummerSlam thing? Because I think SummerSlam is sort of his last hurrah. But if it's his last one, he's got to get it beforehand. So I don't know. That's still in the back of my mind. They keep talking about how Cena's never held the IC belt. So is that a thing? But that doesn't feel right. Like Cena's got to be a world champ. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll say Rock versus Cody. That seems to be what a lot of people think right now is going to be the main event for WrestleMania. But that could be like a night one event, I think.
Yeah, it could be. As you talk about Cena, another championship run, my stomach just went right back to Thanksgiving pizza. I'm just like, oh gosh, another
Ye-
Cena championship run. Here we
Ye-
go.
Yeah, just give it to him. Give him one last good one. I think the thing is, not a lot of the younger crowd today knows Ric Flair maybe they do from a meme or something like that. But I think it's time to pass the torch to someone new. And I think he's the last chance that you have for that. And so I think that's why it's the right move to do it. You know, records were meant to be broken, right? And I think he's the right dude to do it.
I think you do this. I think somehow, because he already said he's going to be at the Royal Rumble, right? If you're going to give
I
John
think
Cena.
is he an entrant? I can't remember.
No, he just said it's gonna be his last Royal Rumble event. So it
Right.
doesn't mean he's necessarily gonna be an entrant. I think this is where you put Cena against Gunther. You put the title on Cena there, okay?
Yep.
And then Cena's last match is at WrestleMania. He comes in as the champion, and he then puts over somebody massively, whoever that last match is going to be. Now, the tricky thing to me is I think he's going to want his last match to be with somebody like Orton, and that's not going to be the last match that's going to give somebody that mega, like that.
I think it could be a Bronson Reed.
I was going to say Jey Uso.
Yeah, that's also a great pick. The only thing I have with Jey Uso versus John Cena, both super faces. And so if you have that bad guy beat the legendary, like one of the all-time favorites, right? Then I think that puts him over as like an ultra heel. And now everyone truly does hate Bronson Reed.
Yeah, but is that time in wrestling done? I mean, you're the one that says there's no heels, there's no faces anymore. Like it's kind of,
I think to an extent, I just look at crowd reaction. Like who's getting the biggest pops?
it's Jey Uso.
And Jey Uso, LA Knight, Cody, Roman. Yeah. Oh, have you seen the LA Knight US champ belt that they
Yes,
have?
I asked you
for
about it
sale?
a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
I was like, dude, he got his own strap.
It's so sick, and I want it. It's $500. So I'll post my Venmo here in the chat, and if anyone wants to donate, we are accepting.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. You get
Okay.
you get me Tony Khan's neck brace for Christmas, and I will get you the LA Knight belt for
All right.
Christmas.
You got yourself a deal,
All right,
sir.
love it, dude. All right, anything you're looking forward to tonight on SmackDown before we get you out?
You know what? Here, I'll say this about Gunther. Since we were talking about him, the dude has no good gear for sale on WWE's website, and I think that's crap. I know he's not everyone's favorite or whatever, but the belt's for sale for $350 right now. Is that one of the cheaper versions? I know that he's not everyone's favorite, but he does sort of get a reaction out of people. I think people like him, but you're supposed to boo him. But for him to have like one shirt on there and he's been the champion for so long, it's crap to me. But that's all, as far as tonight goes, we'll see. Let's figure out the fifth freaking member of the bloodline. Hopefully that's decided by Friday or Monday. But as far as this weekend goes, it's forks up this weekend. We're taking down BYU. We're going to the Big 12 championship here in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. And I'm going, baby. And we're going to be the new Big 12 champs. So
You're okay. All right. You're going
suck it,
ASU.
Dion.
All right.
Buffs go to hell.
Dude,
I'm
I can't
taking him
stand
down.
Dion. Take him down. But hey,
Coach
really
Prime.
quick, I got to do this to you, man. I got to
Challenge. Coach McCarthy.
I do got to throw a quick challenge flag
All right.
because, I've given my take before on grown men that wear jerseys, and I stand by that take. I think the same kind of applies to championship
Wrestling.
belts.
Yeah.
You could get the belt, show it off, but I don't
Bring it
think
to
grown
a
men
match.
should be wearing belts over their shoulders at wrestling events, dude.
No. Okay. I'm 100% with you. this is the only time I would be okay with it, because he's got the little LA stitch like logo, like a Louis Vuitton belt. Like, that thing is awesome and I love it. The only other belt I would wear is like the old late 90s IC belt. That was one of my favorites. Maybe the Winged Eagle, but beyond
the
that,
Winged Eagle.
no.
Yes,
I'm
the
not touching it.
Winged Eagle.
And yeah, it's not a great look, but
It's not a great look. No, it is
you
not.
know what? Neither is being, like, you know, in your 40s going to WWE and spending thousands of dollars to be there. But, you know, when in Rome.
When in Rome, indeed. Tell people where they can find you, dude. Way
You
to
know
go.
what? Here's where you can find me. You can find me every Friday on the King's freaking Court, because that's where I'm at. And maybe I'll throw out another episode. I was trying to get one in the last 2 days or so, and I just have not been able to do it. So I apologize. But if you want consistency, I will tell you that I will be here every freaking Friday, no matter what. I will always make time for that. Your Friday shows are my favorite, and I love being here, and I love
Nailed it.
the audience we have. So
Indeed.
that's where you can find me.
Good job by you. And Mark can see you having the belt over your shoulder.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on. Venmo me.
Venmo me. What's your Venmo, Adam? Give everybody your
I'm
Venmo.
not telling you because it's got my last name. And
Okay, then you don't want to do that. All right, brother. Be well. Have a great
all
weekend.
right, later, y'all.
Good job, dude. Adam killing it with the WWE segment. If you tuned in and you're like, it's the King's Court, you're talking WWE, what the hell's going on? It is a Friday. It's a Royal Rumble Friday. We do our WWE segment. We've talked Kings all show up until then. We've also got the debut coming up in just a couple of minutes of horsing around with the NFL. Yes, horsing around with the NFL. For those that missed the show last week, I had my son. Let me set this up really quick. My 10-year-old son pick my NFL games for the what's up, Lydia? Hope you are having a good Friday. Yes, we definitely need a Kings win tonight. I agree with you. It's going to be a fun game tonight. I expect really good things from the Kings tonight. I think this fan base is going to be very happy by the end of the night. I just got that feeling, the complete opposite feeling of the Thanksgiving pizza. Anyways, Patrick, off the clock. Hell yeah.
Acknowledge me.
Got you, brother. Welcome in. So last week for our NFL pool, I had my son, my 10-year-old son. I said, what could this kid maybe do against the spread? I'm curious. He doesn't watch football. He loves Pokemon, loves art, loves doing some other stuff, loves space, wants to be a space scientist, which I'd love for him, which I'm saving for now, which you can't get a scholarship. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, getting back on point, he knows nothing about the NFL, and he went 7-6 against the spread, ATS, on Sunday. So I'm like, can we keep this up? Because we usually have Haunted Horse on here talking parlays, talking some NFL. And I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we pitted Liam against Haunted Horse? And that is exactly what we have done. We are going to talk some NFL, meaning we are going to get Haunted Horse's picks for this week. And also we have Liam's picks pre-recorded. So we will get those in a few minutes. What's up, dude?
What is up, dude? How's it going?
Good. Happy Friday.
Hey,
Can
I do a real quick production piece before we kick into the NFL?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Hold on.
No. Is that what they feed Royale? Yuck. Is that for your dog? That's got to be for your dog. We are not eating those things. Look at how disgusting that is. Is the red sauce gravy? Oh
It
no.
does have gravy on it. I don't know if there's a red sauce. It's gravy. They say, let me read the description. Hold on, my light. Okay. Roasted turkey with green beans, crispy onions, dried cranberries, and gravy drizzle on Detroit style crust.
Yuck. No.
I've already called the day. So here's the deal.
No.
You cannot find one. I am eating it on Tuesday. You've got a game that starts at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. You're not going to be on the show. I'm doing this Tuesday. I've already started the hype. My boss wants to watch from work. It's getting big. This thing is getting huge.
No.
So I'm eating it Tuesday. Are you going to be a little chicken or are you going to find one and join me on Tuesday? I've invited Tyler, whose idea it was to eat this, to join the show. Anyway, I just wanted to let everyone know you were talking about it all show. I wanted them to see what it looked like. I found one today. First place I went, I found it.
Dude,
it's got to be a Kroger. They're exclusive to Kroger. So Fred Meyer for me. I don't know what the Krogers are in your area. I'm not promoting it because I'm actually dreading it like you. The thought of green beans on a pizza with gravy and turkey, onions, and cranberry salad.
Now, mommy, daddy button.
oh.
By the way, it's second year it's out. They had it out last year and it sold out. So that's why they brought it back. Anyway, there you go.
That was really good production, by the way.
Thank you
I
very
got to
much.
give you some love there, but
You know me, I'm a showman.
Few thoughts there, horse.
Can we cancel this show, please, on Tuesday? Few thoughts there, horse. Oh man, would you guys in the chat get down? Yeah, that was pretty good. Fitting that he used the Ric Flair music. You popped the chat there.
Ric Flair music? That's from
Yeah.
2001 Space Odyssey.
No, that is Ric Flair's
That's
theme
2001 Space Odyssey. It
Adam,
came out in the 1970s.
School this man, Adam. School him.
Bring me back, baby. Hey, Ric Flair's been around for longer than 2001, okay? So that proves my point.
1970s, bro. The movie title was 2001.
Ric Flair was born in 1930, I think.
Probably.
School
is
this
horse.
man.
Yeah, I'm sure Ric Flair. It's a great piece of music. I've used it for other things too, but it's a great piece. It's the equivalent of a drum roll, except it's this classic piece of music. So
Okay, can I get that intro one more time? Because I'm gonna give you Liam's picks right now. We are gonna listen to Liam's picks
with this music.
Just for about 10 seconds. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my 10-year-old son, currently 7 and 6 against the spread. Get your notepads out. Get your pens. Get ready. You want winners? Here they are. Liam's picks. We're going to pit them against horse.
Hold on. Do you include the spreads? The spreads have moved all over the place.
He doesn't know the teams.
No, okay, fair enough. But I want to pick against his spread and not mine because I just wrote them down.
You can pick against whichever spread you want.
All right. Well, I just want to make it less likely that I'm going to get creamed by a 10-year-old.
You can pick whichever spread you want.
Right.
So here we go.
All right.
Liam's picks, ladies and gentlemen.
Vikings. I already told you.
Okay. Lions or Colts?
Colts.
Patriots or Dolphins?
Dolphins.
Buccaneers or Giants?
Giants.
Cowboys or Commanders?
Commandos.
Chiefs or Panthers?
Chiefs.
Titans or Texans?
Titans.
Broncos or Raiders?
Raiders.
49ers or Packers?
Packers.
Oh,
Cardinals or Seahawks?
Seahawks.
Eagles or Rams?
Rams.
Ravens or Chargers?
Chargers.
All right, that's it. Week 12 from Liam. Those are Liam's Week 12 picks.
all right. So since you did it and you didn't say the spread in your thing, we'll use my spread.
You use your
The
spread.
latest as of 30 minutes ago.
Yes.
And it has the updated spread with it was 49ers Packers earlier in the day was -3. It's moved to Packers are now -5.5 because Brock Purdy is out. It's official. So I'm going by the latest spread, and even my spread changed since when I picked and the news with Purdy being out. All right, so we ready? I've got it written down, so you don't have to. I mean, you can.
All right, here are Haunted Horses picks for Week 12.
All right.
If you would like to take notes, he is notoriously good at obscure parlays. But
Not
can
lately.
he beat a 10-year-old? Here we go.
All right. So I've got Vikings versus the Bears. I'm taking Vikings -3.5.
Okay, so you and Liam both have the Vikings.
Yep. Lions versus Colts. Lions, I'm taking -7.5.
Okay, Liam had the Colts.
Patriots versus Miami. I'm taking the Patriots +7.5 points.
I think Liam had the Pats.
Okay. Tampa Bay versus Giants. I'm taking Tampa Bay -6.
Okay, you guys are opposite there.
I think Liam did have the Dolphins.
Oh, did he have the Dolphins? Okay.
Good
All right.
job.
Good job,
Good
Adam.
job. Commanders versus Cowboys. Man, I hate this number. Commanders versus Cowboys. I'm taking the Commanders -10.5.
Hold on. I think Jerry has something to say about that. Jerry?
There's a pony in here somewhere, is the old adage with the boy scooping up the manure on Christmas Day and whistling while he was doing it. Here comes Santa Claus. Well, that's us.
It's us.
Cleaning up manure, whistling. Here comes Santa Claus. That dude's whack.
He's a little out there. All right.
All right. So Commanders -10.5 over the Cowboys. Panthers versus Chiefs. I'm taking, this is weird, but I'm taking the Panthers +10.5. I just don't. The Chiefs win. They just don't win big. So I'm taking Panthers there, +10.5. Texans versus Titans. I'm taking Texans -8. There are a lot of wide spreads this week, too. Broncos versus Raiders. I'm taking Broncos -6. Are you following me with Liam's pick?
I got you.
Okay.
Liam,
Well, I think the audience wants to know if we're in agreement or anyway, that's fine.
Liam had the Raiders.
Yep.
Okay. So Green Bay 49ers, I had to make a switch on this because obviously the Purdy news and then the spread moving. I'm actually taking Green Bay -5.5.
Great success.
I had Niners early +3, but once that news came out, and it's going to be a cold, it might be snowy, cold. I'll take Green Bay there. Cardinals versus Seahawks. I'm taking Cardinals -1.
Okay.
And Eagles versus Rams. I'm taking Eagles -3.
Okay. So
we're not doing Monday night then, right?
Liam did pick Monday night. I
believe I picked it as well. So we'll stick with that. If he picks them, then I'll pick them. Monday we got Chargers versus Ravens. I'm taking Chargers +3.
Okay. So Liam had, you guys are opposite the last two, and you're same on the Chargers.
Got it. All right.
There
we go. We'll see how that.
There we go. There it is. That is Week 12. Liam versus Horse. Should we play Liam one more? We'll play Liam's one more time. Here's Liam's picks one more time for everybody.
Vikings. I already told you.
Okay. Lions or Colts?
Colts.
Patriots or Dolphins?
Dolphins.
Buccaneers or Giants?
Giants.
Cowboys or Commanders?
Commandos.
He likes the spread. Chiefs or Panthers?
Chiefs.
Titans or Texans?
Titans.
Broncos or Raiders?
Raiders.
49ers or Packers?
Packers.
Cardinals or Seahawks?
Seahawks.
Eagles or Rams? Said Rams. Ravens or Chargers?
Chargers.
All right. That's it. Week 12 from Liam. There we go.
And
We've
we've got
done
about
it.
a half dozen where we disagree. So it'll be either 5 or 6. I have to look in the light. So
We have done it.
good segment. I like it. Good idea.
So you
Even if-
have any parlays that you're looking at this weekend?
No, I am cold as ice right now, and I'm gonna have to look at that Niner game. So when things happen like that, where it gets really weird, I'm actually looking at weird things with that Niner Packers game, and if there's snow on the ground or whatever, anyway. But no, I don't have anything real other than I'm going to be betting the way I'll be picking 4 or 5 games of those that I just picked and clustering them in 4 or 5 game parlays. So you pay like $3 to $5 and they'll pay like $30 to $38 if you can get 4 or 5.
How
About
beautiful
550.
last night, guys. How beautiful was that? That is football
That
personified.
was an awesome I love football in the mud and I love football in the snow. It doesn't get better than that.
I agree.
Fun.
So if anybody wants to come up right now, we'll get ready to wrap the show up. It is Royal Rumble time. You can come up on screen with us. I do have a story, since I've got both of you gentlemen here, that I would like to get to wrap the show up. Remember, we have post or pregame coverage beginning at 6:45 tonight for the Kings and the Clippers. So make sure you join us for that. Halftime, Jerry Reynolds joins us at the intermission. So the show at 6:45 will be Kings heavy. It is full pregame. We'll get you ready. We'll give you all the numbers. I'll give you the keys to the game. That's what you were looking for right now. Come back at 6:45. And then Jerry will be here at halftime. And then we've got the post-game show, as always. Looking forward to taking your calls. We'll wrap the night up there. And we will continue the Royal Rumble. Anybody else who wants to call, now is your time to get on screen. But I would like to bring this up really quick, gentlemen. So this guy, this poor NHL player, you guys know these hockey players, they go through hell in a handbasket. Do you guys think hockey's worse than football, physicality wise?
I don't know about that, but I'll say hockey players in my mind are tougher than football players because they will play with gnarlier injuries where football players will sit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna echo what Horse said. I don't know that they're tough. I'm not gonna tell a hockey player to his face that he's not tough. But yeah.
Well, it's just they play so much more often. It's like football on ice. Anyways, so
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying.
you know what I mean?
But I think football, your body gets in weirder positions than a hockey.
We might be splitting hairs here a little
Yeah,
bit.
right. I've just
sure.
seen more gnarly, nasty injuries in football with legs being backwards and stuff than I have. But I don't pay attention as much to hockey. So to be
Yeah.
Fair enough. So this is Matt's, I think I'm saying this right, Matt's Zuccarello. Matt's Zuccarello, okay? He is a forward for the Minnesota Wild. The forward exited the Wild's 3-0 win over the Canucks on November 14th after blocking Brock Faber's shot in the first period, gingerly holding on to his family jewels.
mommy, daddy button.
According to teammates Marcus Foligino, Zuccarello is on the mend after a truly painful experience. Quote, "We thought he was going to lose one nut, but it actually survived and he's got them both still." End quote. Fulgino
Why'd you say
told-
this story for me?
Fulgino told
Gosh.
the 93X half-assed morning show
mommy, daddy button.
Wednesday. Poor guy got hit where the sun don't shine and it ruptured
Oh,
testicle. He can't lift anything. End quote. Gentlemen,
You can't lift anything.
brutal.
I hate stories like that.
Absolutely brutal. Hockey players will take right. They lay out in front of these pucks like bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty rough. That's from the New
Two
York
words I
Post.
never want to hear again. Ruptured testicle. I don't want to hear that.
I mean,
It's happened to a football player. I forget who it was, but Rome interviewed a guy that had a ruptured testicle.
it also happened. Well, no, it didn't happen to John Kruk. John Kruk had testicular cancer.
Yeah, different. Lance
Different.
Armstrong as well.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I'm-
those guys, before their boys were removed, they had anesthetic. It wasn't ruptured in the field of play.
Mark, he
Yeah.
can't lift both sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
I don't mean to laugh about it, but these guys in hockey, they're just a different breed. It's just we've heard Grant's story about bartending with the Rangers.
Yeah.
You know, they're just different dudes. A hockey locker room is different.
I mean, there are some NFL examples of like Ronnie Lott snipping his finger off so he could get back in the game and stuff like that. But hockey players do that all the time.
Incredible. All right, we have another participant in the Royal Rumble. It is BJ. What's up,
here.
dude?
What up, BJ?
How you
How you
guys
doing,
doing?
buddy?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
you loud and clear.
Excellent, excellent. Wow, hockey players, what's that joke? It goes something like, what do you call a hockey player with a full set of teeth? A rookie. So, I mean, we can't really compare.
Right.
You can't compare basketball players to hockey players or football guys. I mean, hockey's brutal, and anytime you just let people fight, let them settle their differences, I'd like to see that a little bit more in basketball, like the 80s, but I'm an old man, so.
Hey, Beach. Hey, Beach. Really quick, you sound like you're underwater.
Okay, here, let's try something.
Little muffled.
Let's try something.
You sound like his. Never mind.
How about now?
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. What was that? What'd you do?
Is that better?
Yeah,
Much
took out
better.
I took out my very expensive Temu headphones.
Got it. Much better.
I think I got them for like $6.
Yeah, nice. Well,
Hey,
it sounded like you got them for $5.
Probably more than that pizza that you paid for.
Right?
Hey, I noticed. Hey, Horst, I noticed you got the toilet paper ready in the background for that pizza eating. You got it ready, locked and loaded, bro.
You guys know, I don't know. Does your audience know what I do for a living? I don't think they do. I sell toilet paper.
Oh, I thought you count Safeway points and collect cans.
No, I do that too. No, but that's my side hustle. No, I sell janitorial
Right on.
supplies. I sell toilet paper.
Right on. I'm just busted.
I had a great dating line when I was dating before I met my wife. I'd go out on
Which
dates
one?
or whatever, and they asked, yeah, right, the last one, the
don't even
right
need to
one.
host.
Good job. No, I mean, hey, I'm setting them up, man. So my line was always because one of the first things they're gonna ask you is, so what do you do for a living, right? And I said I sell toilet paper, and then my follow-up joke was, you know what? If you play your cards right, I'll let you have access to the top secret prototype 4-ply toilet paper. And they got it. They always laugh at that one. My wife's probably rolling her eyes in the other room going, yeah, you used it on me.
Wait. That was your pickup line?
No. That's when we're at the date, and she asked me what I do.
Wow, Horst, man.
Hey, I know it's gonna fill with dudes, but but ladies like that. They're into toilet paper, bro.
Well, hey, maybe you should increase your chances and start looking for dudes.
Do you have a feminine napkin dispenser
Okay.
in your bathroom at home?
Dude, I always take this show and run it into the mountain. I love it.
Horse, I hope your picks are better than how you pick your wives, my man. So
Yeah, right?
I think I'm putting my money on Liam.
Yeah, I would too. I'm not gonna lie. If I had to bet money, I'd pick his.
This is coming
Hey,
off the rails.
On the serious note, I was on the DeRozan stream, the Zoom that he did for depression and suicidal tendencies and whatnot.
Yep.
And I wrote a couple of notes that I thought was transferred over to what type of person he is and what he brings to the team. You know, he was talking about being shapeless like water, being able to form and fit into a system and being timeless. To me, what stood out to me was that he has these intangible tools that I think we're going to see later on down the road. Like we're 15, 16 games into the season. I think that his tools that he brings to the table are tools and intangibles that we will not see in the stats. And I got a chance to ask him a question, and I asked him, what is your take on, you're a veteran and you're playing with younger dudes. Do you feel that it's your responsibility to back off and let some of these younger guys take over the game? And at times you're going to have to step up as a veteran and take over the game. What's your thought on that? And man, he really is a very passionate young man. And he said that he believes that he's been doing that. He's been going slow with that. He said that he's been in some really big games in his life, and that he knows when to, he said the last game against Phoenix, he told Fox, he told De'Aaron, he said, let's go. It's time for us to do it. You know, it's time for you to do your thing type thing. So those are intangibles that this team needs. And I'm hoping that he gets in Keegan's ear. I think Keegan's going to be okay. The one thing that stood out to me too was that he says that he oftentimes and prides himself in playing within himself and within the system. And I immediately thought of the coach, like, man, I just hope the coach is drawing up some sets and some plays like, this is what we need to do. We need some structure. Keegan is definitely a player that needs structure. You could see it. He came from a college where everything was most colleges are structured anyways. Let's put it, to come down to it. But Keegan is very much the type like, okay, we got to do this for Keegan. Another thing that stood out to me was that DeMar Rosen said that he gets in the ear and talks to Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan a lot. And to hear somebody, a young player, say that they talk to the greats and they take their advice. I mean, we had DeMarcus Cousins. The Kings were going to hire, I think, Patrick Ewing or Hakeem, and he said, why would I listen to him? I mean, that right there, that type of mentality, if you think you know everything, you're not going to grow. So what's the point? The point for DeRozan that he said was, Jordan said, thank you for keeping the mid-range alive. And he said, you'll win more games thinking mid-range than you will thinking the three. So DeRozan is on the page that I think we need to be on. I just hope to God that Coach Brown is because he gives a lot of lip service for me. I might be a little tough on Coach Brown, but if he's truly taking the season in 5-game increments, then he's got to make adjustments. It's got to show. I mean, you could say words, but it's got to come out on the floor. And there are times in the game we're going to make mistakes. You're going to have turnovers. It's just when are you going to have those mistakes? When are you going to have those turnovers? And that's a coaching thing. I'll let you guys go after this, but some of the improvement that I have seen about Coach, because I don't want to be negative all around. I've seen him call timeouts more. I've also seen that he's not questioning every call, especially in the first half. It's like, why would you question anything in the first half? Save it for the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, use your head and be a leader. And oftentimes, if you watch Brown, it seems like he's just looking around and he needs like some outside information from other people. That kind of worries me a little bit. So I'm hoping things kind of get a little bit better visually. And I just, to hear DeMar talk about the importance of mental health for men and young men and his team is just beautiful stuff to hear. It was very touching, and it was a really awesome Zoom to be on. So I wanted to share that with you guys.
Good job by you, BJ. Yeah, I was monitoring the Zoom and listening. And DeMar, I had known that he stays in touch with some guys, Jordan and Dominique. I did not know about the mid-range line that Jordan told him. So that was really cool. You nailed a lot of things there. The Kings are second right now in 2-point percentage in the NBA. Second. That can take you a long ways. That's why their net rating is where it's at right now. And so good stuff, dude. Incredible stuff, BJ. Way to wrap it up on a positive note. And you're right about Coach Brown and the structure. I've been harping on that for a minute. It's got to get better, especially if you want to get Keegan more involved. And the challenges, I'm not going to get on him for looking around because they have a guy or a coach on the bench that has an iPad that's looking really quickly because they've got to make that in a split second. You know, they've got to make that call really, really quick before we've seen a replay before they basically have to make the decision. So that's what's kind of tough for them. But the 2-point game, spot on. It's where it needs to be. So good stuff, Beej. Well done, dude.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And I'm trying to get into the wrestling. I don't watch wrestling. I still listen to you guys when you guys are talking. On the picks, since Horsey thinks he's doing his picks and Liam is doing Rhino's picks, I have my girlfriend do my picks. Nice. So I'm hoping she beats all of you guys.
Okay, let us know how she does. Let us know.
Well, she's not regular, so yeah. So I think I'm hoping it'll be good.
Okay, love it, dude. Beej, thanks for the call, brother. Way to wrap it up.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys again.
Be well.
All right, later.
Good stuff from BJ. That was like one of the best calls we've had in a really long time about King stuff. That was
my pitch to the Kings. I'm going to bring a lot of intangibles that aren't going to be on the stat sheet, but I'm going to bring.
Yeah, like dudes that wear belts over their shoulders at wrestling events.
I mean, come on. How high? We need a bench mob back again, you know, and I don't disagree. I think the LA Knight could really put us over the top.
Oh my God, what are we doing? All right. Hey, last word, Adam.
Last word. Hey, you know what? I tuned into AEW on Wednesday night only because the Costco guys were there. AJ and Big Justice.
Who are those guys? I couldn't figure out who they are.
They're just stupid viral internet sensation guys. But AJ, the dad, used to actually be a wrestler, and AEW signed him. So I tuned in only to see the Costco guys on AEW. I thought the show was crap, to be honest. I didn't love it, but you know, I'm looking forward to AJ and Big Justice bringing the boom this Saturday.
Nice.
I thought Corn Dog was the Costco guy.
I guess there's multiple
Costco. Should be the Costco.
All right, Adam. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Horsey, tell people where they can find you tonight.
If you don't know already, you don't want to watch me. Find me on Twitter at Haunt00Horse, HollywoodRejects.com. There's a link somewhere on there, live show, and I go live at 5. So I'll be long gone before you start your show. So
good stuff,
5
dude.
to 6. You're starting at 6:30?
6:45.
6:45? I might come in there and give you some shit.
Yeah, okay. Come
All right.
harass me.
Am I allowed
Dude,
to say that S word here? I forget.
Yeah, you can say shit. You're
Okay.
good.
All right. All right.
No, appreciate you. It's gonna be fun to see how you guys do on the picks. We will track those
You got
on
till
Monday.
Tuesday to buy a pizza, this turkey pizza.
I'm not
You don't have to. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to twist your arm like a WWE move. But
if
an
I
arm
can
bar.
find it, I'll buy it.
You're
if
not.
I can find
you're not. You don't want to find it.
I don't.
If there were $100 bills in each box, you would find one. You're going out of your way. You're like Kroger. Okay, then I'll look at Safeway.
Okay, so we don't have Kroger.
You don't have to.
We don't have Kroger here. We don't.
Said they found it. One of your viewers found it for you local.
Okay, then I'll get it.
One of your viewers wants to see you eat it.
No, that's Mark. He's in Arizona, bro.
Yeah, but he looked online and found it. He said, "Oh, I found a store that carries it."
Oh, I must have missed that. All right,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
double check.
They want you to eat it. Tell me, your audience here wants you to eat the Thanksgiving pizza.
Okay, I'll eat the Thanksgiving pizza.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll find it. I'll find the Thanksgiving pizza and I'll eat the damn thing. Love you, brother. Be well. Oh my gosh, this Thanksgiving pizza, the start of the show and now the end of the show. Hey, what are we going to do? I am not looking forward to that thing. That is all right. All in good fun. What a fun show today. Great way to close out the week. You're probably like, hey, this show's usually more Kings heavy. Fridays are a little bit lighter around here. We will tally up and see how Liam and Horse do with their picks. We will recap that beginning on Monday next week. Don't forget, by the way, we are back to our 2 o'clock time slot here on the King's Court. So 2 p.m. will be the time for the King's Court. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesdays. We've got a couple of shows in the afternoon. Grant and Sean Salisbury on the channel talking NFL football. And then we have the King's Roundtable with Grant, Jerry, and I at 4 p.m. So King's Court on those days will be audio only. Make sure that you go check that out as well. Follow me on the X. That QR code will take you right there at Ryan_in_Sacktown. And we are back tonight. Full coverage of the Kings and the Clips. Can't wait for this one. I am expecting a very, very good showing from the Kings tonight. I mean that. And that was a great call by BJ. If you're just tuning in now, rewind this about 10 minutes and listen to what BJ had to say. It was an excellent call by him. But we're back at 6:45 with pregame tonight for the Kings and the Clippers from LA. The Kings come off of the 3-day break, a much needed break. You get DeMar DeRozan and Domas back tonight. No Malik Monk, no Norman Powell for the Clippers. Kings favored by 3.5 points. We break it all down. Give you the keys to the game, 6:45 right here on If You Don't Like That. And then after that, Jerry Reynolds will be back with us for halftime, the intermission. He'll give us the keys to the second half. We will talk about the first half and then the post-game show. Yes, I know it's the picture of last game, but Grant and I will wrap up the night tonight for the Kings and the Clippers. Yes, I know it's showing the Hawks logo. I will update that before tonight, but we're back after the game taking all your calls. Thank you for a wonderful week. I appreciate each and every one of you. Can't wait to be back with you tonight for Kings basketball. What a week. Let's get it. Lot of good to look forward to. Kings going to have some rested legs. They get DeMar, get Domas back against a Clippers team that is also missing Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell. Again, game 231 in the series, the lifetime series between the Kings and the Clippers. Make it a great rest of the day. Can't wait to see you at 6:45 for Kings coverage right here on If You Don't Like That. So long. Court is dismissed.